A little over a year ago, I installed this anti-sag gate kit, and it kind of warped my door when I first installed it, turning it into a bit of a potato chip shape. On the bright side, a year later, it doesn't actually look appreciably much more potato chippy. And according to the comments on YouTube, it seems like this isn't exactly uncommon for these anti-sag gate kits. As you can see here, Soul Clap says, LOL, what a mess of a gate. Looks like something a 12-year-old would do. Dude says, wow, poor design on the gate. Who built the gate? This does nothing. If the proper diagonal bracing had been inserted from the bottom hinge to the top latch side, it might have helped. Raymond says, the only thing this is worth is firewood, but it's pressure treated wood, so don't burn it. So it's not even worth firewood, I guess. But again, it's missing that diagonal brace, I think is the main point. And then a lot of people saying turnbuckle kits just don't work. The cable tension just ends up twisting the door. Anti-sag gate crookeding kit is another name for this, according to Z-Act. Now, one person in here said, put another turnbuckle kit going from the other corners and it will fix it. So a lot of these are talking about rebuilding my gate. I think I'm going to try this much cheaper and quicker idea first and see how that works. Okay, again, mark the corners. Drill some pilot holes. Attach the corners. Loosen the turnbuckle. And I actually broke this one. One of these hooks is actually left-hand threaded, so don't try to force it the other way like I did and strip the threads. I had to actually go out and buy another turnbuckle. After tightening the new turnbuckle, I had to retighten the old one a little bit because the gate started dragging again. And still potato chip shaped. And I had to saw off a little from the corner since now that metal top corner piece was sticking out and catching on the post a little. So all said and done, it kind of looks and works exactly like before. Before I try to rebuild my gate, I'm going to try one other product. It's this True Latch adjustable gate brace, and it's basically the steel bar version of the cable kit I have now. They specifically say that it's going to help me avoid disappointment from my flimsy wire cable turnbuckle kit that has warped my gate. $60 from Amazon. Before I try out that kit, I wanted to share a few thoughts about diagonal bracing and some of the tips I saw in some other videos. So I've got a mock-up of a gate with hinges over here, and the red line is the diagonal brace direction that I've seen most people recommend. And if I skew this black outside rectangle to make it look like the gate has sagged, you can see that the red one is now too long and the blue one is too short. So as the gate sags, it would be pushing on the red one and pulling on the blue one. So I think the reason that most people recommend the red direction from the bottom of the hinge to the top of the latch side of the gate is because this one would be being pushed on by the gate as it sags, whereas the blue one would be pulled. And I think it's probably better to push on a piece of wood than to try and resist stretching through the screws. One tip I saw in several other videos was to use lap joints on the corners. This is where you notch out the ends of the pieces before gluing and screwing them together. I think the extra surface area goes even further to help that joint from twisting. This guy's video, Paul Ricalde, was great. He had all kinds of other tips in there, like making the frame out of cedar so it'd be lighter weight. Okay, getting back to the True Latch installation, I'm going to make a much more detailed video later, so I'll just go over the major steps here. The first thing is to install the extension and mark the length. Then you secure that length with these self-tapping metal screws. Then the True Latch is going to go in the same direction as that initial anti-sagging cable, so it's providing tension to keep the gate from sagging. So I'm just going to install one lag bolt at the top after I pre-drilled the hole, then another lag bolt at the bottom, finish out the second bolt on both the top and the bottom. And then interestingly, you can see how warped my door is. There's about a 1/2 inch gap between the brace and the gate before I tighten this bolt down. And then the last thing is to take up the tension by tightening that nut at the top until the latch closes cleanly and the gate doesn't drag on the ground. So I do have to say it didn't instantly straighten out my door. It looks like the brace got pulled into the gate rather than straightening the gate out there. And the top still sticks out past the front of the fence and the bottom out the back side of the fence. So overall, is this better than the anti-sag cable kit? Maybe it wouldn't have warped my door in the first place. But I'm hoping the extra rigidity that the steel brace provides will keep the door from warping more in the future. It does feel very solid now, seems to work well. Not sure if it's worth the $60 versus the $15 though. Also, it was incredibly fast to install, maybe faster than the cable kit. It's basically just 7 bolts, and I'm not even sure you would have to pre-drill those. I could have probably done it in under a half an hour if I wasn't messing with the camera to record all of this. There are links on the screen and in the description to the original anti-sag cable installation and the more detailed True Latch brace installation, as well as an Amazon link to the True Latch product. Please put any questions or point out any mistakes I made in the comments. Thanks.